the Ocean Plait Mat. Hello everybody, welcome back. As you can see, today we're going to make a lovely, it really is, I like it. It's a really lovely decorative mat and it really looks good, made from natural cordage. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do the Ocean Plait Mat, and this is just very small cord that I'm using. Unfortunately, I couldn't show you it in full size because my studio's not big enough. This one's massive, and this is made from old rope. It's from an old fishing trawler, and to be honest, it's really rope that's come to the end of its life. And if I can just show you the edge, it's got a lovely scallop pattern on the edge here. This is the end of it, and basically what I'm going to show you today is how to make this particular mat, but in a small version, and this small version will build up into a large version as you saw just there. It's exactly the same process, you just use thicker cordage. And what I'll do is at the end of this video I will give you the measurements used to make this small mat. I think it's about 3mm cord I'm using here. But those exact measurements will be given at the end of the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to untie this one here, and then I will come back to you and show you how to make the Ocean Plait Mat. Or plate. Plait or plate? Who knows? Somebody tell me in the description, or not in the description, but in the comments below. Tell me if it's plait or plate. I'm sure it's plate, but Ocean Plait Mat. Okay, and that's what we're going to do today. And this, and the other thing I've found with these mats as well, is they do come in various different designs. I've seen a couple of different designs for this mat, and this particular mat comes from Gordon Perry's book of knots. It's the book of knots by Gordon Perry, and this mat is in there, and that's what we're going to do today, is this particular style of mat. So let me undo this, and then when I get back, let's get knotting. Hi there, welcome back. Actually, I lied to you. Look, it's still there in one piece. I found another piece of cord and I decided to use that piece of cord here. So if we need to come back to this one, we can come back on comparison. So right, what I've done is I have centered my cord, and the first thing that I'm going to do is, now that I've centered my cord, is I am going to create a loop at this bottom end here. And to create that loop with the left hand side, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to pass my cordage over like so. So basically, let's go back. I'm creating a loop just here. So let's put my finger where that loop is going to be. And what I do is I pass my cordage over like so, so that it's coming round, down, then it's going over there, and then it's going over there as well. So it's crossing over the top of these 2 points here. Okay, now with the bottom one I do exactly the same. Let's see, hang on, let's get my cordage out of the way for this one. There we go. So with the bottom one I do exactly the same, but this time my loop is going to be in reverse to this one. So my working end is going to go round like so, like so, and then it's going to go underneath that one, over that one, underneath that one. So I take my end here, and so I'm going to pass it underneath this point here, and just gently pull it through. See, this is the difficult piece. Nothing's held in place at the moment, so I'm gently going to pull it through like that. And don't worry, I'll show you again in a second, or show you the structure. I won't go too fast on this. And then keep that loop down there like so. So there we go, we have that loop there. So it's gone round, underneath itself, and then over that one there. Okay? And then the next thing I'd want to do is pass my lead underneath that one there. This one's going over, but this one here wants to pass underneath. And let's just get a bit more of an elbow on there, that's it. And now what I do is I get my working end and I'm going to tuck it under. So it's going over that one, under that one there. So take my working end, pass it over and under there like so. And just keep everything, try and keep everything in place so you've got the common or the basic shape of what you're trying to produce. And there we have it, okay? So just let's even those out a bit. And so there we have it now. We have that particular shape here. And let's just even it up so they look both nice and even. There we go. That looks even enough, doesn't it? Okay, and so the next thing that I want to do is I want to pass the right hand one over the left hand one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this loop here and I'm basically going to cross them over. So I'm passing the right hand one over the left one, but I'm going to move both at the same time. So right over left, like so. And then we want it so it's got a cross in the middle. So let's just square that off. So it's got a cross in the middle, like so. So all I've done is, let's take those back again. That's my original loops. And all I've done is, I've picked the left one up, moved it over the right hand one, but moving the right hand one at the same time as well. And then what we want to do is just sort it out so it's all nice and symmetrical, so we keep that shape there. So now that we've passed it under there, what we want to do is just make sure that we have that shape there, where we've basically got a head at the top there and two shoulders on either side here. Okay, now that we've got the head and two shoulders, the next thing that we want to do is we want to bring our work round, and I'm going to take this lead here, and I want to basically, what I want to do with this one is pass it underneath this one over that one. So let's get to that point there. So take it underneath that one, and I don't need to pass it over because it's going naturally over anyway. Just pull all the cordage through, but keep your fingers on there to hold that shape, because that's the crucial bit about this at this stage, is just keeping that shape. And there we go, we've now created another shoulder there at that point. And so now we've gone over that one there, and the next thing that we want to do is we want to go over that one as well there, and then under that one. Oh, so just pull that slightly, and so take that through. So we're going over that one and then under the final one, like so. There we go. And then just square that off a bit. Ooh. It will pull, so that if you accidentally catch it, it's a nightmare. Right, the next one we want to do is this one here. And with this one here, we want to go over, under, over, under, over. So we go over, and then under. So you can see I'm going over and then under on this one here, and pull the excess through like so, and then just pull that one back in position. And then finally we want to go over that one. So let's see, we've gone over that one, under that one, we're going over that one, under that one, over that one. So let's just bring that round, nearly there. And here we go, and there we have it like so. Okay, so now we've almost finished, because the last thing, and it's only the last thing now, the last thing that we need to do is, you can see at the top end here, we've got our head, we've got two shoulders, we've got sort of like elbows sticking out on either side here. And then finally we get to two shoulders again, and what we want to do now is replicate that pattern up there with this lead here. And all we do now is we take this lead round and we start following that lead there. And so as soon as I tuck it under there and pull that through, we have now made our ocean plate mat. And so if I just pull that through, just get those lines squared up a bit, pull that through, and you can now see that if I bring this one up in comparison, it's quite a bit bigger, this one here, but you can now see in comparison here, we've got our head and our two shoulders, head and two shoulders there. And that's what we've got here. Okay, and so all I've got to do now with this is all I need to do now is go round and double up on it. And to double up is simply, we're coming up here alongside this one here, and all we've got to do now is follow that one all the way round and staying parallel with it as we go round. So all I'm going to do now is just tuck it under there, like so. Tuck it under there. And what I'll do also at the end of this video, I'll put a link in where you can have a map to follow, as well as my talking here that I've done on a website. So I'll put a link into that shortly. And so I've gone along there, I've gone under, so I've got need to go over, like so. Like so. And then the next thing that I need to do is follow the lead around the corner, and then you can see there I've got a sequence of under, over, under. And I'll just pull that through. And if it misshapes shut slightly, just pull it all back into position again, because you know you've got a head and two shoulders. That's what we're looking for. And you can see now there, I've doubled up that section there, and that's all I'm going to do now. I'm just going to go round and double up. Right, so we've got to this point here. I've doubled up everywhere, and if I shake that up a little bit, just pull that up so we get our nice shape there. And you can see here now that as I just tidy it up a bit, I have my head and two shoulders, a little bit slack still compared to this one here, but I've got my head and two shoulders there. Head, two shoulders, and then I've also done two passes on this one now. And on this one, I've run out of cordage here, just as I've done my last pass, with my last second pass as it was. And so what I would do now is just with the other end now, because I've got enough cordage, I will now go around and treble it up. So I've got three passes here, and then just keep doing that all the way round until we've got three passes. Now the other thing is, you can, if you want to, instead of going around and doing a third pass now, what you can do is take all the slack out of it. So basically, just start at one point and just pull it up gently and pull up all the slack out of it. Because if you look at that, they're both exactly the same size. This one here is made exactly the same cordage here, but you can see here, because I haven't gone round and tightened it up, that it's a lot bigger. So it takes time, and you've got to be gentle with it as well. As you're pulling it up, keep it flat on the table, keep it shaped, because you noticed every so often I would just reshape it so that it looked like a good ocean plate mat, and gradually, as you pull up all the slack out of it, eventually it will go down to approximately this size. Now this one could probably have a little bit more taken out just to make it a little bit tighter on the curves, etc. Now the other thing is as well is that when you are finishing a mat, okay, I'm lucky in the fact that this is 3-ply rope, so what I could do is I could actually side splice these into place. But if you don't want to side splice, if you know how to glue something, you could actually cut off the leads flush there and just put a little dab of glue on there, if that's how you want to finish it. You might be making this with paracord, so it could be a better way of actually finishing below there. And the other method as well is that I often use is the whipping method, that basically I will whip two of my leads together where I've cut them off, to prevent them coming undone. I don't often use the side splice, but a side splice is another way of finishing off at the bottom here. And if you do a YouTube search for a side splice, you will see how that's done. But personally, I would cut it off. So there's one lead, I'd cut it off just there, and then I would do some whipping round there, and then I would cut that one off underneath just there and whip it to the next one, and then that would be my mat completed without these strands on, and you then have yourself a nice, little bit misshapen there, a nice ocean plate mat to play with. And don't forget, if you use thick rope, heavy rope, that's heavy, you end up with that. And to be honest, I love this. This is such a thing of beauty. This rope is so horrible now, it cannot be used for anything else other than a mat. But personally, I think it comes out absolutely fantastic, this one. So this is my large rope ocean plate mat. And that's what you can do if you use larger cordage. And like I said at the very end of the video, I will give you measurements on how much cordage I needed just for that small mat. Where is the small mat? Bring it up for comparison. There's my small mat. And yeah, like I said, I'll put the measurements at the end of the video. And any other useful information, have a look in the description below or in the actual at the end of the video. And once again, thanks very much for watching. Love it, hate it, whichever it was, please leave me a comment, talk to me. I do answer all comments, and we'll have a chat in the comment section. Okay, thanks for watching then, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.